everybody, this is Geo Joe here today with a new product announcement. I would like to now introduce the GV-LPR2812-DL camera. This is a new license plate recognition camera recently released by GeoVision. This is a camera that is very unique because it has a built-in license plate recognition engine in the camera, meaning you can use it in a completely standalone environment where it can recognize plates with no GeoVision software required. So a couple technical specifications on this camera. It is a 2 megapixel camera with a motorized 5.1 to 51 millimeter zoom. This is again motorized, so right through the web interface or through GeoVision software, you have the ability to remotely zoom and focus that camera. It can perform dual lane recognition. And as I mentioned, since the camera has the deep learning engine built into the camera, it can be used in completely standalone environments. So let's say, for example, there is a scenario where you have maybe a gate and it is a remote application where you can get power there, but you don't have the ability to pull a data cable out to the gate to have it talk back into a network or software. You could pre-program this unit and deploy it out at that gate, power it up, and then it can run completely standalone with no GeoVision software. Now, you do also have the ability to point this into the GeoVision GV-AS Manager software. That is GeoVision's access control and license plate recognition software, where you can actually visualize the LPR results in real time and see an updated list of those results. Now, another thing that is on the roadmap with this camera is later a new firmware will come out for this, and it will allow it to be a cloud, direct-to-cloud license plate recognition camera. If you purchase a GV Cloud storage license, you will be able to do license plate recognition searching through our GV Cloud website. If I scroll down here, just a couple other things that I want to point out about this camera. It is IP67 rated and IK10 vandal resistant. It does have roughly 70 feet of infrared capabilities. So when planning the installation, it's recommended to get it mounted within about 65 feet of where a vehicle will pass by. It does have a digital input and output, so that allows you to wire up, say, a gate, and you can trigger that gate to open if an approved license plate is seen. And then it does come with a 64 gigabyte micro SD card, which is going to allow you to store roughly 250,000 license plate recognition images. Okay, so it will store those images directly in that SD card, and you can actually query and do a search based on license plates of interest, or you can just do a date and time range search. This camera is also two-way audio capable, and what that means is it has the connections where you can connect your own microphone and speaker, and please note that you do need to provide power for those. So if I pull up the web page of this camera, I just want to show a little bit of the camera and what it can do and some things that you can set up. So when you first log in, of course, you're brought to the live view screen. Over here on the right, you have the ability to zoom in or zoom out the camera with its motorized lens. So right here, you can get that camera really focused in on the area that you want. And it is recommended to have the camera look at roughly a 2 car width zone. Okay, so with license plate cameras, it's really meant for like a choke point, an entrance to a garage or a driveway, a gated community, those kinds of scenarios. You don't want to try to look out over an entire parking lot with a license plate camera. It's roughly a 2 car width zone that you want to achieve. And you also want to be mindful of your angles a little bit. This is a pretty good application here where we have a roughly 25 to 30 degree offset angle from the left here. You don't want to have it as a too steep of an angle, or else you're not going to get good, accurate license plate recognitions. Now, you can mount this camera up high if needed. I've seen some customers where they will mount this up maybe 20 feet on a building and then looking down at their target point. That can be done. And you just really, again, want to make sure you're not making it too far of an offset angle to the left or right. Up here in the top right, you do have an LPR tab. You can enable this to where if you're going to keep the camera's web page live displayed here on a screen, it will keep a rolling and updated list of the most recent recognized license plates over here. Now, if we go into a little bit of the menu of the camera, if we go into system and license plate recognition, this is where you have the ability to go in and set up the camera to perform license plate recognition. So LPR detection, if you click on this tab right here, this allows you to go in and set your parameters. So you can set a minimum height of license plate and a maximum height of license plate. You can see those, recognized right here by the different colored lines. So blue would be the maximum size, and then this green one right here would be your minimum size. And then you also want to set up your region of interest, ROI. This is basically your detection zone. And you have the ability, to move around your detection zone. You can draw it as you would like. You don't want to do the entire scene. You do want to get it kind of narrowed in and focused on a particular area like we have here in the yellow zone. Registry database, this is where you can go in and you can set it up to where it's either going to be in standalone mode, where again, you're not pointing it back to any GeoVision software. And you'd want to tick the box right here next to enable registry database and make sure you have it set to standalone right there. And of course, hit apply. Or if you'd like to point it back to GeoVision's AS Manager software, you can do that right here and then hit apply. And then again, later, you'll have the ability to directly point it to the GV Cloud website. And if you purchase a GV Cloud Access Control license, you'll be able to do license plate recognition searching directly in the GV Cloud webpage. So again, you'll want to program how you want the registry database to be set up in this page right here. And then later on, this is where you would enter in your GV Cloud Access account ID and password. Now down below, this is where you can enroll plate numbers of interest, and you can have them set up to where it would trigger a gate to open by the output of the camera. So you'd be able to come in and type in your plate numbers here and then hit add, and it would start building out a database or a list of the approved license plates. And deeper within the menus, you can enable the output, so it would trigger the gate to open whenever an approved license plate is seen. You can also go in here and set up a schedule if you want. So if you only want recognition to happen at certain times of the day, you can choose a few different options here: span 1, span 2, 3, weekend, and special days. And you can really do a customized schedule here. Now, Inquire Recognized Database, this tab allows you to search either by specific plate numbers of interest, or you can simply do a date and time search right here. So you can pick the calendar options that you want. So let's say, for example, we just want to search today. I'm going to keep this defaulted on March 19th. I'm going to choose 12 a.m. and then I'm going to make it go to 11:59 p.m. on the same day. When you hit query, you'll get a list of all of the recognized results right here. And you can scroll through, and as you can see, there's a few different columns. It's going to give you your date and time right here, as well as the license plate number. And then right here where it says photo, you do have the ability to click on that and you will see the actual photo of that recognition result. Now, down here in the bottom left, you also have the ability to overlay that recognized result directly and print it on top of that photo. And I'd like to go back and just show where that can be done. If we are back in the home page here of the camera, you can click recognition result, and right here, overlay LPR result onto recognition results. So as long as you have this enabled, you can choose where you want it to display, like the bottom left, bottom right, upper left, upper right, for example, and it will print that data right on top of the video feed. So again, you do have the ability to go in here and do a search, and then if you wanted to narrow it down, you actually have the ability to type in some information that you want to search by. And if you had a match, it would show up right there. So right here, as you can see, I just typed in the plate that we previously found, and it helped me to bring that to the top of the list, and it narrowed it down there. Now, you do, of course, have the ability to point this camera into the GeoVision VMS software if you'd like to just record it. We do have a couple cameras in the GV-VMS 17 software here displaying. This is a live camera feed. And then, of course, it can do full recording of the video. And we can go into our view log, and we now have all of the recorded events down here where we can go and sync up and look back at the full recorded video feed. This has been a new product introduction video on the GV-LPR2812-DL license plate recognition camera. For further information on our product line, please check us out at www.geovision.com.tw/US. Thanks a lot for watching.